and at this point you were learning, right? You wanted to learn about nutrition, but you were dedicated. You had a goal.
I studied a lot before I started, because before I started, I'm like, this is a mission. I'm not starting casually. When I got out of the detention center, I knew I had to find a job. I knew I needed an apartment. I needed these things before I could go to the gym. Otherwise, I need stability. So I got these things secured. And then during that process, I was reading as much as I could, magazines, books. I've probably got every bodybuilding magazine and book that's been published in between 1980 and 95, and even a lot more before that, because people would see that I was collecting, and people used to give me their old Iron Man magazines and things like that. I had a huge collection, which unfortunately got damaged in storage and stuff like that. But I just absorbed all this information and then started sorting out and what worked and what didn't work, what made sense and what didn't make sense. And having goals. I've got every workout I ever did from 1983 until 1997. I've got every workout written down. I've got every exercise, every rep, every weight, everything written down. I've got a stack of books like that, all handwritten. I've got all my diets in there. Everything is logged down. And I was doing this, and I taught myself to do this. And every month I would write, this is my weight, this is my bicep measurement, this is my waist, this is it, this is my maximum bench press. And then I have all these next month. My goal is 10 pounds increase on the bench press. Oh, that doesn't sound much. Yeah, but if I did it every month for 12 months, it'd be 120 pounds, it'd be massive. So I always broke it down into little achievable goals like that, which I didn't always achieve, but I had the goal to aim for, and constantly going forward. So I kept records, and if I changed something in my diet, I changed something in my training, I would put it down, and I'd change one thing at a time. And then let's see for a month what effect this has, positive or negative. And then whatever it was, if it was positive, I'd keep it. If it was negative, I wouldn't agonize about the whys. And even, if I read somewhere Arnold Schwarzenegger said this exercise is the greatest thing, but I'm doing it, it's not working, I'd just simply eliminate it and move on. I wouldn't wonder why. It's not, waste energy on that, So very meticulous in my planning and very analytical about the whole process.
Like a scientist. This is a
it was my own
method.
scientific cross between a science experiment, a sport, and an art. It's like the whole thing combined, and because it was so individual. I think we were having a conversation earlier on, and I said it's great to hear my daughter. I think she was 13 at the time, when she said to me, "Dad, I'm growing up too quick. I don't want to grow up. I just want to stay a kid." I'm like, "Why is that then?" She's like, "Yeah, because when you're a kid, you just have fun. There's no responsibility. There's no paying the bills. And I just want to, it's great. I just want to stay like this." And I thought to myself, that's lovely that she feels like that. Because when I was at that age, I just wanted to get the hell out of there. I wanted to grow up and be able to be responsible for my own life. Because these people that are supposed to be looking after me, they're screwing up. That's the way I thought anyway. So bodybuilding was so individual for me. I had to study the nutrition. I had to do the training. I had to find out how it worked with my body. There were no teammates. There were no family. There was nobody to let me down. It was just all down to me, win or lose. And that was the appeal about bodybuilding for me. I was almost psychologically just perfectly built for it, perhaps,
On Sunday, London Real presents Dorian Yates, Return of the Shadow.